The breaking of the mirror had not severed the connection. It had transferred it. Then he heard the voice again, that same fractured, unnatural voice, drifting up from the basement. He turned. Where the mirror had once stood, there was now a transparent glass wall, stretching floor to ceiling. And on the other side of it, the mirror version of Samir stood smiling, while the real Samir crumpled to the floor, clutching his wound, writhing in pain that burned through him like fire. But even through the pain, something in Samir refused to break. He was furious. Furious at what he had created, furious at what was being done to him, furious at the arrogance of a reflection that thought it could replace its source. He pushed himself upright. He looked down at the blood on the floor and noticed it had turned black, thick and dark and wrong. And when he looked in what remained of the glass, his eyes had changed. His pupils had gone completely white. He drove his fist into the glass wall. Shards tore into his face. He screamed and fell backward. The corridor beyond erupted in red light, and as Samir dragged himself upright, he saw something that shattered whatever remained of his scientific understanding of the world. Every room in the corridor held a version of him, twisted, distorted, barely human. They looked less like people and more like the raw matter of people, flesh shaped into approximate human forms and left unfinished. In one room, a figure that might have been a woman was burning her own fingers like candles, calm and methodical about it. Samir recognized them, then all of them. These were the bodies he had experimented on. The unclaimed dead he had dragged from the morgue and treated like equipment. They were here. Transformed. Changed into something by whatever had been living on the other side of his mirror. Then a calm voice came from behind him, the most unsettling kind of voice, the kind that is quiet when it should be screaming. You tried to conquer the world, Samir. But you lost. You lost to yourself. And now, you are me. And I am you. He turned. Standing behind him was another version, posed, uninjured, dressed in a spotless white coat. The version of Samir that the world would believe in. The version that would sit in the hospital, hold the scalpel, make the decisions, speak to patients and colleagues and administrators and never once trigger a single moment of suspicion. The real Samir refused to accept it. He told himself it wasn't real. That this was a hallucination, a breakdown, a product of sleepless weeks and a mind pushed past its limits. But the white-coated version looked at him with calm, patient eyes and told him the truth that Samir had been too proud to see coming. It told him that it was his reflection, the one he had seen in the mirror. The one he had thought he would destroy. But in breaking the mirror, Samir hadn't killed it. He had freed it. He had cut the one barrier that existed between the reflection and the world. And now the reflection would step into that world and the real Samir would remain behind. In the dark. Forever. Before Samir could find words, the shadows moved. They came for him from every corner of that corridor, the twisted versions, the unfinished ones, the things he had made and not understood, and they took hold of him. The white-coated Samir leaned close and whispered the final thing. He told Samir that he was now completely alone.